Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Saturday, February 14th, 2026, and it's day number 306, wearing the fabulous X39 that you see here, positioned right there. And today, I want to continue part 3 of the biofield presentation that I started the other day. And so let's continue without further ado. Oh, but before I forget, I made the top 15. Thank you for voting. And now, let's see where I'm at. There is 5 days left to vote, and I'm still in 11th spot. So to make the top 10, I need your vote. So please vote for me. The link is in the description. So now on with part 3 of the presentation. Forgot to plug that in. Not speak. Let's go.
How the fuck is it that you don't know that we've had all of these systems going on with the Army, multi-domain sensing system with high accuracy detection exploitation system, patterns of life to develop the target, C4ISR, September 14th. What the hell? How is it that you don't know? Give me a break. How can that be possible? Over and over again, I'm sitting here trying to figure out why it is that none of you will open up and say anything to anybody, given that you guys have to be the ones that know how this is being executed. But, it's demonstrated by the questions I keep getting. They're like, what are you talking about? Well, guys, when you get rid of our wireless body part and you tell everybody nothing exists except what they can see, you get rid of frequency, oscillation, cymatics, the power of sound, optics, radionics, and anything plasma derivative. Good fucking job. Because they connected this wireless body part to telephony in 1922, and they've been doing anything they want to ever since. You didn't tell anybody about synthetic telepathy in 1995. You didn't tell anybody about the wide body area network. You didn't tell anybody about the biosensors, so our youth have been biohacking. Now, damn it, Janet, this 1,500 year or 300 year, however long plan, we get Galileo and Copernicus out there, throw them in front and say, here, we're going to science now. We killed everybody with the Spanish Inquisition that could read books. Go. But that only lasted for 200 years. And that was only in private universities that you were allowed to learn. Then they start killing everybody again until they get back to the 1960s. Why does that matter? For those of you that don't understand from radio frequency what Langland's equation is, or the Rosetta Stone of mathematics, that took us to a new type of quantum encryption to break all the bit series old encryption, with the L function and the meromorphic changing out the polaritons and poles on the complex plane of any toroidal field that we wanted to for modification of the electromagnetic stimulation with quantum underground computers in the quantum space. You took away the body part. You got everybody all fucking confused because they think that it doesn't exist. Put the body part back, and it's real simple. They're piloting you around like a sim. No. Yeah, because Project Looking Glass. Whoa. Yeah, routing radio frequency through the body. 802.15.45 and 6. And then once we line it up with your DNA, well, we have DNA steganography. Did you know that your DNA stores a fuck ton of data for the government? Because it does. Then you have your chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear skiffs that are equally made out of your DNA to protect them from a biofrequency weapon and something called prima materia. Welcome to Project Pandora. I can walk into a liminal space. I can walk into a bioweapon frequency secure skiff. Perfect. Why? Because I'm going to invade the world with my MQ-9 Reapers, pretty fucking magical technology. I showed a picture of a Reaper in 1953. So the medical implant communication system comes online, and we're chipping humans with RFID. The MAC IDs, I was born with one in me in 1979. The HemiSync is the EEG brain connectomes, which is what we use when we're logging in and out because the neuronal loop is closed, says Gunich from Machine Learning, who I take the synergist to point out you don't need to lie about what a MAC ID is and what it does. It is a medium access control derivative, and the people out there in radio frequency that work with old equipment or don't know about the body area network, they're like, well, how is it changing all the time? Because you're dealing with WSN, which is wireless sensor networks at a very small scale, and they're moving around and they're talking to each other and recombining themselves. Oh, So Yanich in Machine Learning, he's got quite a few subscribers, and so does Anastasia on Tech. And they talk about all the neuron-to-neuron, brain-to-brain I'm talking about. Where are you? Probably watching The Sun, which said in December of 2022, oh yeah, we'll need chips in our head in 2100 before anybody can have telepathy. How convenient. What if you're born with it? Well, they're going to take it away from you. Why would they do that? Well, they have brain imaging libraries like Bill that commit changes with CRISPR-Cas9 to your proteins, your peptides, your amino chains, your amino acids. Then we take a transcript of the change with something called a transcriptome, and proteomics rewrites your proteins, your brain connectomes, again, about that brain. It has to be secure for transfer of information by cybersecurity standards. So HemiSync and the EEG and the brain are in there with the connectome, testing for DNA sequence patterning and how you behave around other people. If you think you're astral projecting, you're actually in the back end of a computer for neuron-colon-neuron exchange and your plasma core structure underground that matches your DNA. IBM computers. So who's doing all this? Same people that I always saw: medical, sheriff, police, lawfare, Maine military, paramilitary, black projects, geospatial in Silicon Valley. And why are they doing this? Because they can just log into your ass with Geomancer, determine your location with their lovely little curated data labeling and data curation databases the DoD sold off at the Artificial Intelligence September conference in 2020, symposium rather. Amazing Polly explains in Rwanda how we went down and shot aerosolized nano in the air. But we have to have communication that is secure between certain soldiers. And for that, you're back to the 802.15.6, modify their biosensors. You can save them from the chemical warfare or the aerosolized by popping different types of bioelectric code and wireless tissue engineering healing. And then the wireless sensor networks can relay on all the other humans that you want to do something different. In the very same way, the spells that we cast on people and save in our spell books over on the GitHub have vector or feature values when they go into a vector after they've mapped the coordinate with Geomancer. And those feature values are your Digi-ID. So they could be anything. And what we do is we order a drone, take a picture over your home of real time with the access that we have, and then we can fire up a generative adversarial neural network, an artificial neural network, or whatever we want, electrocute the air molecules around your head and execute a terahertz bullet, or whatever we want. And that's with your NTS-3, again, position, navigation, and timing of your biosensors, 802.15.4. Starting to see how it's kind of a big fucking deal that you laced everyone's ass to the cloud and told them nothing. And then we had, oh, well, you just can't take pain. Oh, it's a fake brain tumor, but we don't know why. Oh, you're having seizures that make your eyes go bloodshot. We don't know why. Lupus, Lou Gehrig's disease, all the autoimmune disorders. Oh, there's nothing we can do. When you electrocute humans through their own tissue and you don't tell them, and you force their immune system to electrically adhere to nanotech or another body in a different electrical way than what your red blood cells and your neurons need to function, you end up with an autoimmune disorder, an automatic immune fucking problem with the order of operation because you're electrocuting them. Yeah, that's what the biosensors do. Oh, so now, because no one said a fucking thing about subtly electrocuting people, there's your nanomorgellons. Cancer's not my story to tell, but they tell you on the Daily Mail, give you cancer, take it away in 15 minutes. They've had that capability since 1995. Now it's sudden adult death syndrome. Fuck you some more, and no accountability for all this testing that they did with the vaccinations at the different age scales. None of it. Not a fucking bit of it. So what did we end up with? Full circle. The 6G low personal area network, your ass is attached to the cloud. The signal is propagating from you, your body, your DNA. Turn off the signal for Ebola, killing off your loved ones in front of your face. Stop your DNA. Now that's terrifying. That's some real doom pilling. Yeah, that's cybersecurity. Stop the signal. You have to stop the DNA because the body area network is where the signal is coming from. So it won't go away unless you stop the DNA. So you radio frequency people think you might want to get caught up on a technology from 1995? If that's really the situation that we're in? Because the metamaterials are about to make it transhuman very serious. And I will go ahead and pull up the metamaterial guy again, just for you radio frequency hams and people. I have a lot of respect for you guys. I'm very surprised. If you don't know, now's the time. But just like the dudes on the hobby farms, maybe y'all been hanging out in your basements doing cool stuff like you do with your equipment. to do testing, and just like the Baba Black Sheep guys who fly their drones for the good reasons, trying to teach young people how cool it is to build a circuit board yourself and make it communicate. And they've weaponized everything, made it super ugly and very difficult to communicate with anybody about this stuff. And especially now, given that the new warfare technology is electrical, and that means telepathy, empathy, and precognition, which are natural abilities in human neurons, those are now the hot commodity. Nobody understands what's going on because you won't admit that they created a cyber-physical backbone because they needed more throughput. And my sign for that is, for some reason, missing. So I'll come back with that. It's synthetic biology. Please take a look at my synthetic biology videos for the glossary and terms. And thank you for the people using NanoWork as a touch point. And I hope that this is the simple explanation that doesn't sound bitchy towards you. I'm just so furious that they didn't tell anybody it's a body part, because as you can see, when you get back down to cybersecurity, turn your DNA off. Guys, who's going to want to hear that? So let's educate. It's the W band, and take your body part back. And then, well, what do I do with it all? Biofield practice? I know you don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. It's your body part. You're the best person to know how it works. And if you knew that precognition and empathy are the two most common neuronal abilities, it's not psychic, it's psionic, which is why my website is Synergy. Psi plus energy equals synergy, as in your own biofield, your own psionic abilities, my own neurons. I don't need a wearable to be a telepath or a telekinetic. They purposely practice wireless tissue engineering. That means suppressing your growth, your internal organs, and stunting your brain tissue. No maybes. So if we're actually going to find a way through this, we need people to be honest about what's already been deployed and what is in play with the wide body area network. We can't afford to keep spinning around it, protecting sensor hunters and pretending that it's going to get better. The people that want these systems to change, they're not but murdered for over 20 years. And they want to murder me like every 5 minutes. So now I'm going to go take a walk. God bless y'all out there. I have other videos to load, but I'm loading these first for the people who genuinely asked, can you please break it down for me as simple as possible? Mark 5:36. Amen.
Wow. Sabrina, she's sharing a lot of information, and for those who know about her, you know, there's a lot of nefarious things that have been going on, and she has been disclosing that. So, is there a reason why she may be hiding, or maybe she's protected? I don't know. I really don't know. But everything that she's talked about reminds me of a story that I heard from an older lady many years ago, where she was on a flight going across the pond to Europe, and she sat beside somebody and they were talking about this kind of stuff. And the person was a younger age, younger than me, and this lady's older than I am. And she told me the story that was, or bits and pieces of the story that, based on the conversation she had with the individual, and it's just coincidental that years later I hear this story from Sabrina, and it falls in line with what the older lady told me. So is there some validation in my mind around it? I would say so. I think so. So, we have to protect ourselves from this nefariousness that's been going on. And the one way you can do that is by experiencing the benefits. And in this presentation today, if you listen closely, you will hear Sabrina talk about peptides. And one peptide that we're all born with is the GHKCU. We're all born with it. What happens, it goes dormant as we age. Now, is that because of bombardment of electromagnetic fields, frequency? I think it plays a role. So one of the things you can do to help offset that or improve the frequency activity of the GHKCU is to make sure that you're drinking the cleanest and most absorbable water, because that's part of the regeneration process. And when you combine that, the water as a foundational piece, to that with the X39, that's the QR code for it, you can reap the benefits of combining the two foundational pieces to what I call start the fire inside your body. It's no different than having a campfire, and you have fuel, and you need to have a spark in order for that fire to ignite and to burn the fuel, which is the wood. Now, the body also requires a spark. And that spark is created by this. Now, if you know anything about sunlight, you know that people that live near the equator or closer to the equator have greater amounts of sunlight. And because of that, they live generally better lives. A lot of that has to do with because of the activation they get from the sunlight. Now, if you live in Alberta like I do, when the winter solstice comes around, the sun is not here for a large part of the day, every day, especially December and January. Now it's starting to slowly get more and more. And then when the summer solstice comes around, in June, that's when we have the longest day of light. Now, are every day sunny where you can get direct sunlight exposure? Nope. And so, are you missing out on the opportunity to benefit from the activation that the wavelengths from the light provide? You miss out. So which wavelengths of light are necessary to activate the GHKCU inside the body? Well, that's why there's patents on this product, protected by a large number of them. So can you use the X39 as a tool to help you maintain your longevity, to live well, live long, and to live young? Yes, you can. But you must remember that in order for your those stem cells, aka that are part of the result of the GHKCU, they require the fuel as well. And the strongest fuel that you can provide for your body is by way of the hydrogen that it comes from water. Hydrogen is very, very volatile and explosive, right? So is it a good fuel for your body? The answer is yes. So that's why when I say you want to drink the cleanest and most absorbable version of water, I call it deuterium-free 114 degree molecular bond angle water, because it's the cleanest and most absorbable. Whereas your stomach, the cells in your stomach, don't have to use a lot of energy to break it apart and to utilize it. And so is it one of the reasons why I experience the energy levels when I do the Feel It Friday workout? if you watched or participated in yesterday's workout, I'll just switch screen here, you will know that, okay, this is a fitness stress test. Yesterday's Feel It Friday, I completed the workout in 18 minutes and 21 seconds, and that's including a rest period of 2 minutes. Now, the week prior, I did it long. It took me longer, and that's because the majority of reps were the reps in round 1 to round 2, as you see here. Round 1, round 2, 193, and then 195. So yesterday, round 1 had 143, whereas in round 2 there was 215. A big difference. But when I did it, there's the heart rate results. You can see in round 1 here, underneath the first half, my heart rate was kind of lower, but higher in the second round. But overall, I finished it the round or the whole workout faster over that of the week prior, which was 20 minutes and 2 seconds, and yesterday was in 18 minutes and 21 seconds. 3 weeks ago, I did it in 18 minutes and 15 seconds. So it just, I guess the energy levels that I have week to week are going to vary, and a lot of that has to do with what I'm eating the day before. And one thing that I remember doing on Thursday was that I had a complex carb, which was quinoa, and I had 2 servings of it. And does that help with providing additional energy levels? Because it is known to be a complex carb, but also a good protein as well. So did I reap the benefits from that choice the day before? And because when I did the test, I was only 6 seconds slower than January 30th. And I would say that's pretty good considering how many reps. So January 30th was 104, 104.98 for the cards you see here in the center of the screen. So that's what I'm looking at. And then yesterday was 108, 105, and 95. So more kings and more queens overall. So 6 seconds slower, but I would still say that that's pretty good effort, considering the week prior. So every week is going to be slightly different, but doing the card workout the way I do it actually provides a lot of variety, I guess, if you want to call it that. And because of that, I feel I'm doing pretty good at my current age of 49. And you know, when you see my skin, you know, I'm just using the regular camera here that you see on the screen. This is just a webcam. So, you know, is it going to be filtering, or am I using any filters? No, I'm not using anything. So basically what you see is alive. So does the lighting affect how the camera, you know, picks up my complexion? Well, I think so. I'm using incandescent lights down here. So, and you know, I think I'm looking pretty good for 49. And the other thing too is the gray hair. So, you know, the gray color here, is it changing? And this is one thing that I've talked about, because the use of the X39 by activating the GHK-Cu peptide inside the body has been known that the color of your hair changes, and it's because you're stimulating the stem cells in the body. So is that a long-term benefit from using the technology or the patch? Sure is. And I think that my my ability to perform in the workouts. It's a simple workout, but it's pretty grueling, and especially with the pace at 165 beats per minute for the tempo on the skip, it doesn't leave a lot of room for for taking a rest unless you do it. And there are times where I do it. I have done it in the past, and but am I still reaping the benefits from the efforts in the training that I'm doing week in and week out? I think so. And when I talk about the training, I'm also thinking about the fitness stress testing that I'm doing. And so this past week I've done a little bit of homework where I've gone into the log that you see here on the screen that you can look at yourself. I provide the links, and you'll see where on January 15th, 2018, you can actually look at the video where I did one of the first tests with that rope that I'm currently using. And at that time, I finished 250 skips in 87 seconds. And I thought I was pretty good back in 2018. Now I'm doing the same test in 68 seconds, much faster. And I've been this 68 second pace it's hard. You can see I've had since June of 2025 is when I kind of started doing this fitness stress testing. You can see that progressively I've gotten faster and faster and faster and able to set a new personal best. And my heart rate has been, there's some weeks here you see on October 25th, 2025, I had a lower heart rate and still able to get the 250 skips. So it just depends on how I feel, energy levels, what I eat the day before, how well I sleep. Like there's a variety of different variables that affects it. But also too, in the past, I've also done the fitness test first thing, so without warming up. And it wasn't until December I decided to change that methodology by doing the warm-up first and then doing the fitness stress test. So I think I found it just to have a little bit better coordination, if you want to call it that. Now, today I'm going to try the warm-up again, first and foremost. So 10-minute HIIT, and then do the fitness stress test. And if I don't reach the goal of 62 and a half 4-step sequences today, then I might consider changing the methodology that I'll use next week, by either doing the fitness stress test first, then the 10-minute HIIT, or doing a shorter warm-up altogether. So that way I have some energy as well. So we'll see how things go today. And if you're interested in looking at all the log, all the information, you can view. Everything's time-stamped, all done live here, streamed live, and you can watch the replay. And you can see for yourself that I'm measuring against myself, nobody else. But by utilizing the technology, meaning the X39, is it allowing me to achieve those goals in combination with the water? I would think there's something to it. And with that, before I begin today, I'm going to take another blood pressure measurement. I did it yesterday, and I was kind of surprised to see the results of the blood pressure, because the numbers were high, which seemed a little unusual for me. So here I am. I've got the Omron. I don't know what model number this is. HEM 711 DLX cam. So in Canada, yes, I don't know how old this machine is, but let's see. And yesterday I did the blood pressure measurements also after I did the workout. So it was kind of interesting to see. Let's see. There we go. In the background, you can hear water being made as well. So 132 over 96, that's the first reading. So I'm going to do one more time, or maybe two more times. My heart rate, 51. Wow. Pretty relaxed. Wow, it's higher. Wow. Wow. Systolic's higher. I don't know. Why? Sometimes I wonder about these devices, whether they're reading correctly or not. Because it was kind of bizarre yesterday as well. So 140 over 89, my pulse is 51. I don't know. Do one more time. According to this, I got high blood pressure. Your numbers are too high. Well, let's see what happens today with my heart rate. I'm going to use the Scosche Rhythm Plus. This is the heart rate monitor I've been using for many, many years now. All right. So, I'm going to set the metronome. You can probably hear that. All right, I'm going to set the tempo for 165. So when you see the color change on the screen because of the timer, let's begin. Gonna use the Buddy Lee Rope Master today. Shorts are ready. So matching the tempo. So my heart rate bumps right up. I don't feel like I'm breathing much. I should be at maximum heart rate. Ouch. I slapped my hands together. Feels good today, actually. rate's just dropped right down. Lifting the knees works the hip flexors. Threw in a double under crisscross there. There we go. So, that warm-up is done. I'll have a little bit more water here. This is freshly made. Water's still warm. Gonna take care of the noise for a bit. So, see my heart rate, nice and kind of relaxed after that 10 minutes. Heart rate peaked a little bit close to that calculated maximum of 171, which for me is 171 feels like I'm almost like I'm walking at that heart rate. And but a lot of it has to do with just being relaxed and the level of oxygen in my body, because the water actually, that's driving that heart rate, because I'm not breathing a lot. And if I had the VO2 max equipment, you would actually see that. And speaking of which, I'm going to take my blood pressure again. To see if it actually has changed now. So put the, see, I've got it there. Dental. I suspect that it will drop, or it should have dropped by now, my blood pressure. See? It's far different than what it was the very first reading, 140 over 90, whatever it was, so I'm not going to do it a second time. So can exercise affect your blood pressure? Of course it can. Is it good for you? Well, I'm just proving it. So do I worry about numbers being high and low? And it's about over the duration. See, now it's high again. I don't get it. Goes 10 points higher. I don't get this machine. Like, after using it now for, a few days here, like, is this thing accurate? I don't know if it needs to be flat like this. Okay, so now it's reading 119 over 91, pulse 82, so which is really close to what my armband is reading. So I'm gonna do it one time, so you'll be able to hear it, the machine. Should I be sitting when I'm doing this? Test the blood pressure? No, I don't think it makes any difference. If anything, I'll probably my heart rate would just go lower. See, now it's reading 145 over 98. I don't get it. 73. Like, this is just bizarre. I'll do it one more time. So does my making, here, I'm not going to, just breathe. And this time, see, I don't get it. I seriously don't. Okay. Okay, now it's going again. I'm gonna close my eyes. See now, 124 over 87, 76. So what I'm going to do is just move this a little bit more in the center here, so it's kind of in the center of my, like this, matching this. Okay. I don't know, is that a heart rate sensor or something? I don't know. Here, I'll do that this way. I don't know if I'm supposed to put my thumb on the sensor. I've never done it before. No, it errored. I don't get it. Okay, one last time. There we go. Now, 139 over 84, 75. Seriously, I don't get this. I really don't get this machine. Can this be even relied on? I don't know. So, now that my heart rate is kind of fully recovered, I'm back down to my true resting rate, which is like in the 50s. When I'm sleeping, it's 42. I've recorded as low as 35 ever. Back in November, I decided to wear this heart rate monitor right here, as you see. I wore it for 7.5 hours. And I recorded my heart rate when I was sleeping, and it hit 42 multiple times, or in the 40s, like multiple times, and it would stay in the 40s for like probably half an hour, if not more, 45 minutes, an hour. If I was in the hospital, you know what they'd be doing? They'd be checking me. It's like, oh, your heart rate's too low. Wake me up every 1 hour. Leave me alone. Let me sleep. That's what I would be saying. All right. So, back to the fitness stress testing. So, as I showed earlier, the goal is to get 68, 250 skips in 68 seconds at a pace of 221 beats per minute. That is the metronome tempo, and which equates to 3.6765 revolutions per second. So it's a fast pace, and let's see if I can do it today. That's the goal, is to get all 250, and it's a tough test. As part of today's test, I will be using the same rope which I have been using since 2018. And in the video, if you clicked on the Facebook one, you'll see that Josh, the guy that's in the video, he kinked it. This is that rope, that same one. You can see where he does it at the beginning of the video before we actually did the test. And still using the same rope here. And Josh, if you're watching, I don't know if you are. I know you would be cheering me on if you were. So, the tempo, come on. Tempo again. Bluetooth speaker's still there. There we go. All right, so I said 221. One, two, three, 4, 5. So I need 62 and a half of those measures, if you want to call it. That would be a measure in music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Easier to count. 1, 2, 3. And do this way. So, just gonna do a few warm-up swings here. I'm going to try to hold it a little bit here, like this, a little bit, not squeeze the handle so hard. Okay, yeah. I'm just looking at where the kink is going to be, if it's going to interfere with. Whatever. 1, 0, 0. Okay. I'm getting ready now. Mentally ready. One thing I'm going to do is actually put the hat back on so I don't see the screen in front of me. See if this Mustang can do it. Is it going to make me faster? No, I don't know. Just a little bit more focus. 0. Wow. I don't know if I did it or not. I started counting later. So I just allowed myself to just focus, dig deep, and stay as focused as I possibly could. I think that'll be it for today. I think that was a good attempt. Pretty sure it was close. Based on when I started counting. I was like, I don't know. I was striving for 40. And I made a noise when I first started counting. I counted 1 or 2, maybe 3. And then I started just silently after that. So let's see how the replay goes. Considering how my heart rate was getting up there, 163, getting close. And one thing I tried to do today, that was different than weeks prior, was not squeeze the heck out of the handles, because doing so puts additional pressure on the forearms by squeezing them so hard. And today I chose not to. And there was a couple moments there where I was adjusting my hand midstream, like after, I don't know, 10 or 12, let's say, of the 4-second sequences. And well, because of that, my hands were moving, and you could probably see it if you watch it really closely. So I was trying to just be relaxed, especially in the hands, and I think that helped today. So we'll see how well it goes, the replay, to see if I actually got close to setting a new personal best with that tempo at 3.67. What did I say, revolutions per second? Yeah, 3.6765. So it's a pretty fast pace. I know that if Buddy Lee is watching, he would say it's good tempo, it's a good pace. So to be able to do the 250 in that specified time, 68 seconds, it's a strong pace. And I'm gonna keep trying. If I got the personal best, then I'm gonna up the ante, and by saying I wanted to do it faster with this rope. And we'll see how it goes. So hope you enjoyed today's live stream. I'm your boy. How'd you say? I'm the Mustang. Right there. So even with my crooked hat, it's been a few Calgary Stampedes over the years, and I've also done some Stampede breakfasts and over the years as well. So it's had its fair share of work, but this Mustang's not done working, especially with this rope. So tune in for back on Monday. I'll be taking the day off tomorrow, and it should be interesting. I'll have some more stuff planned for you. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe to both either the YouTube channel or the Rumble channel, whichever one. Because the videos don't stay on here, actually, on Facebook. They get deleted after 30 days. So if you wanted to rewatch this again in the future, then you'll have to go to the other platforms to find them. And we'll tune in. See you on Monday. Have a nice weekend.